Hi everyone, welcome back to the Florida Fishing Academy's virtual classroom. Today we are going to be learning about casting, which is throwing out our fishing rod. First, we're going to take a look at my fishing rod here. This fishing rod here is called a push button rod. This is a little bit different than some of the other rods you may be familiar with. Many of you may have used a spinning rod where your reel is open. You flip up a little metal switch, which we call the bail, hold your fishing line, and then you let go of your line as you cast it out. For my push button rod, I have a little button down here. When I press that button, it will release my fishing line. I then also have my reel with my drag, which adjusts how tight my line is, my rod, and today I'm going to be using a fish as a hook. Many of you may not have fishing rods at home. So for today's purpose, you could use a bamboo stick, a tree trunk, whatever type of stick object you might have at home, and whatever type of string you might have. Today on the end of my cane pole here, I've got a magnet. We're going to use this magnet to see if we can catch some fish. Typically, when we practice fishing in our classes, we use these small plastic fish and our spinning rods in a game we call Backyard Bass. The way that this game works is we practice casting our rod and use these fish as targets. The way this is going to work is, since I'm inside, I'm going to have to get down on my knee. And the way that we cast out our rod is we are going to hold our rod just like this with our finger under the latch and our thumb on our button for our push button rod. We're going to press that button in and bring our rod back. As we start to go forward, we're going to let go of that, just like we would if we were throwing a football. Oh no, I might catch a catfish. Just like that. Since you all don't have fishing rods and backyard bass fish, we're going to practice today with my cane rod and some magnets. Since we all don't have fishing rods at home, we can make our own rods. You could use a piece of bamboo like I did. You could use a stick from a tree, a piece of PVC pipe, or maybe you have other sorts of sticks that you can use at home. You're also going to find a piece of string. Any sort of string that you can tie nice and tight onto your rod. And then as my hook, I have my magnet. I've also created magnetic fish. I've taken some scrap paper and I've cut them into fish shapes and put magnets on them. I'm going to lay them out on the ground and we're going to see if we can catch any fish. Casting your cane rod might be a little bit different than when you cast a real fishing rod. For this, you're going to kind of do more of a toss. So I've got my hook or my magnet on here, and I've got my magnetic fish on the ground, and I'm going to toss it out and see if I might be able to hook on one of these fish. I caught one. In order to make this a little bit more difficult, I've put some fish in a box here. I want you to try and throw out your fishing hook or your magnet and see if you can catch any of these fish in here. Try it out. I caught one.